All right, welcome folks. In this video, we're going to be looking at um, the another basics of trading topic. This is the episode 4. We're going to be looking at the support and resistance. Okay, this is very, I would say, most popular among the traders and most hated sometimes. People don't really understand the support and resistance clearly, and a lot of people will trash the concept. It's like it doesn't work. Well, support and resistance works. It's just a lot of people doesn't know what they're looking for. Now, I'm not going to give you any bookish definition. I'm here to make you understand very basics, okay? And by the way, I'm using the logic here from support and resistance, which I'll share in a minute how I entered this trade. And let's see what we can make use of it, and we'll see if it can just hit this resistance level, or we can just close the trade depending on what we get based on the price action, okay? So without any further ado, in the meanwhile, I'll explain to you what's happening here, okay? So right now, it is Thursday, August 6th, 2026, and we're in the Asia session, okay? The market closes at, electronic trading hours, because we're looking at Asia. Market closes at 4:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and market opens at the 6 p.m. Okay, again, New York local time. Then what happens is when market opens up, we wait for the Asia session to start. Usually I'll wait until 7 p.m. for it to settle down, or 7:30, and then look for any trade opportunities. So I was looking at the charts after 8 o'clock or 8:30 or so, and what exactly I need to understand support and resistance. Well, I'm not going to go into super details in this series, but I'm going to give you clear information that you can start utilizing from today and use these support and resistance concepts. Okay. So the concept is that what is a support and what is a resistance? Any level, a support is any level you see below the price. So let's say below at any point in time, let's say at 7:30, any point in time below the level, below the price level you're currently at, like here, below this, whatever you can see a swing low, okay, move backward, whatever swing low you see that is very prominent, or even further in that session, so let's say 6 p.m., so that one is more significant than that one because it's starting the 6 p.m. Okay, it starts the pre-Asia session. That's going to be a very important point in marking the support or resistance. And again, sometimes people say support zone, resistance zone. Well, a zone is just a box that takes like either the body or just the wicks. Okay, wicks are very important in this case. So, and if possible, if you can draw like a zone or like a straight line between 2 points, let's say this and this, then that becomes a support level. So if I take a rectangle, say, from this wick, and I can draw like a box, and after like any point in time, that becomes like a support level. Well, this could be a support level. I don't like it much at the moment because there's this one, because that's like start of the 6 p.m. So this is a better support zone. So I can just get rid of that because I'm marking that as my support initially. And why this is also important, because if you drag it again further, you can see the price was reacting at this level before that. So this is algorithmically driven. Okay, this is algorithmically driven, and that's why you see the action around that price. So like technically, this could be your like if you mark this swing, this wick is bigger than this one anyway. So you could mark that one too. So this is one, or you can just say if you want to just mark like a one line, that seems to be the right approach. So that's your support level. The price should react and run back if we're bullish. We need to have a bias in here, okay? On the other hand, the resistance is again any point in time, start moving backwards, any significant swing high that you see. I see this one. Again, you can mark that as your resistance, and price should react around it. Now, it doesn't mean that if price closes above this, it's bullish further and then just keeps going. If you're bearish at a point, it will come down somewhere after reacting on that level. So it will react and then come back lower on the support level. So again, I can draw that support level right there. So this is my support zone. That's my resistance. This is how the actual support and resistance is made. Okay. Now, what? How did I enter this trade? Well, you can clearly see now. This is like crystal clear. You wait until let's say 7 and 7:30. You see how price is reacting to the resistance, see how it touched that, see how it touched it again. This means it's telling you that it touches it, it goes lower, touches it, it goes lower. Now, that doesn't mean it can't close above this. So see, again, perfectly touches right at the top of the wick, right? This is the wick. So I'm drawing it on the wick to wick. So just exactly, and then goes lower. Now, this is what a fake out or like a liquidity sweep. So this, you have to be careful what time you're entering. Again, that's an advanced concept, but to begin with, look at that. Like price wants to go below. It doesn't mean that it can't go above it and then reject immediately heavily, and then you see the closure below that with a heavy, just like down close candle, and then you can enter in short here if you want, and then target the support level right there. I didn't take this trade because I wasn't looking at it, but then I saw this reacting. Look at that. Price reacted, went up again. See how, look at the bodies. Perfectly reacted and started running up. And then came back lower again. See again. Price doesn't even close below the 50% of this wick. Okay, that's your support. That's your true support. So as soon as it did that here, I entered one contract right on this level, and then you can target basically this again, but because the price has reacted and then created this interim, like just a short-term swing low, a swing high, I can target that as a low-hanging fruit objective. I don't need the full objective right here. If I had two contracts, I can take one partial here, the other one here or here. So again, it's that zone. So price comes near to it and then reacts. So now, because it's spending a lot of time here, I don't like this. I can close the trade right away if I see some nice reaction, but I'm willing to take a bet for it right now. Okay. But again, you see how the price reacts to that zone. Again, if you look back, you will find similar zones that it reacts to. So let's say this is another case. Let's say this one. So see how. Just draw that. Look at that. See how price reacted. Perfect. This is your support and resistance, okay? Not some Joker shit, okay? So this is how you draw things out. This cannot be wrong. And see, even if, again, you can keep going back. If you find a zone, if you find a resistance zone, just draw it back to see how price is reacting. Look at that. And then see how it was support before, and then when it broke through aggressively, it now became a resistance zone. So you can find these zones, okay, and then see where it started to become significantly important, okay? Well, that was it for this session. Hope you enjoyed it, and give it a thumbs up, give it a like, and I will show you some advanced concepts too once I finish the series. So a lot to come, okay? Stay in touch, and I'll see you in the next one. Be safe.